Namo Amida. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are, in whichever realms of existence you are, whatever mind states you're in, whatever conditions you're in. You are, as always, welcome to my channel, and immerse yourself in the ocean of the vow. The real ocean of the vow. not Gankai. Anyway, not this Gankai. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in, as they say, as it were. I am at an undisclosed location, somewhere in the West Country of the, sadly not the ultimate West Country of Amitabha, but the West Country of the UK, at a woodlands near one of the RHS gardens. It's very busy today. Unsurprisingly, we're kind of during summer holiday period, and there's a flower show on. I've never seen this place this busy. It's crazy. So I found it a fairly secluded spot, off the beaten path of the woodland paths that kind of go up and down and all around here. So it's quite beautiful. I thought it'd be a really great place for a video, and I haven't made a solo video in a while, so quite looking forward to this. And I wanted to talk about, and I don't know whether I'm going to publish this one in order of all the other backlog of Dharma dialogues and such that I have, or whether I'm going to publish it as soon as I, this weekend or whatever. But if I do publish it this weekend, just know that this is out of order of the other videos you're going to be seeing, as I occasionally do. And one of the things you'll see in those future videos, and you might see them before you see this video, but anyway, but I'm thinking about publishing this right away, because it's just something I'm very excited about, or was a very strong aspect of my, traversing the Jodo Shinshu path. So, yeah, it may or may not be in the order of all the backlog of videos that I haven't uploaded yet, but anyway, what I'll tell, so if I post it more, more immediately, then just to give you a little bit of background, you're going to see in future videos a progression of my, hitting the wall again with my Jodo Shinshu path, my Jodo Shinshu, living the Jodo Shinshu path, just with, kind of hitting the wall of all those things that we hit the wall with before Shinjin is settled, before settled Shinjin, and this has happened to me repeatedly. I get to a point of kind of hitting the wall where I just, as Inagaki, I think it's Inagaki Sensei, says, that talks about hitting the wall, where we hit this point of, so many questions, or can I really believe this stuff, or, am I ever not going to have doubts, or just and endless calculations, and ego, and what have you, all that stuff that a bamboo is just a mark of our existence without Amitabha's help and power. And even then, we're still bamboos. So even when, Shinjin has settled, we're still bamboo, and we won't have any doubts anymore. after Shinjin. There's no doubts after Shinjin has settled. But we're still Bambu, you know. So anyway, don't get off the track there. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was something that came to me, was in a very real. It not came to me. I don't know what's the word for it. I guess came to me, or something I experienced through, you know, when I was reflecting recently. It's just something that happened sort of naturally and spontaneously, without my, I think without my calculations, or without my trying to figure it all out, and trying to, if I could just, you know, this is part of the hitting the wall for me. If I could just, you know, figure it out, get to that point where I just can reconcile everything, and reconcile it with my mind, and with, you know, with my rational mind, or with whatever so-called rational mind. Anyway, so it was nothing like that. This was just something that came spontaneously when I was reflecting on my life and the teachings in very recent weeks, and it stayed with me. And that was, I'm trying to remember what I was doing at the time. I think I was running, actually. It was just like this week, actually. I was running, or it might have been the other week. So it might have been a couple of weeks. I can't exactly remember when it was, but it does feel like a longer time than it's been since that happened, just because it's been with me every day now. It's what just came naturally through the reflections I was having. So obviously work of Amida, the working of Amida, and that's what it was about, actually, was Jinen. It was about it, you know, in a way that I've never kind of become aware of it, or been aware of it, or in a way that I wasn't ever made aware of it before, through Amitabha's light, through Amida Buddha's light, that Jinin is happening all around us. It's not around us, it's through us, in us. What you know, I'll try to recall how it came. So I was just reflecting on, you know, as I was running, I just was like, wow, this is all just not real. This is all just, you know, this is all just the Samsaric dream. This is all just, you know, it's all the Samsaric dream. It's all in my diluted mind stream is experiencing this, or making me think that this is reality, that this is the way things are, or the way things look and feel and smell, the way they're experienced. But it's all just a polluted mind stream of, you know, by kleshas and my karma and whatnot, and our collective karma and collective kleshas, and, you know, and all of that, and all the ways that we, because I'm reading the Pure Land sutras I'm going to read them right through. I'm reading the larger sutra. First of all, I realized that they're all you need. Like I used to have a question, kind of, you know, and not that I won't read other Buddhist materials or other Buddhist sutras or anything, but as far as my actual being a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist and being a Bambu, all I really need are the Pure Land Sutras. I'm realizing that for the first time. That's really, because everything is in there, literally everything, just in the larger sutra alone. I've read it through now in this recent reading, probably about the equivalent of 4 to 6 times. Listened to it, read it, you know, listened to it. You know, but by the time you do all the, you know, backing it up to listen to it again, or backing up to read it again or whatever, it probably is like 4 to 6 times. Maybe, could be less than that, maybe 3 to 4 times. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's all an estimate anyway. But I'm realizing it's all you need as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, as a Bambu. The Pure Land Sutras have everything. The larger sutra has everything. And I'm sure that when I read the others going through this time, it will be very clear. And this is the first time I'm going through them consecutively. I'm just going to read those and then read, the smaller sutra, and then read the Contemplation Sutra, and then I'm going to read the collective works of Shinran. The reason I'm doing that is Kyokan has enlisted the aid for my hard case, calculating case, of Reverend Ray Fukumoto, to kind of assist, how what could be helpful to I think Kyokan asked him what could be helpful to Gankai. He's going through a point where he's hitting the wall and all of that, and he repeated to Kyokan things that he said before, or his strong conviction that people should read the sutras, all 3 sutras through and through, and then read the collective works of Shinran through and through, to have a better understanding of, I can't remember his exact quote, but to have a better understanding of Jodo Shinshu without the filters. It's good working with teachers. It's good to have Dharma dialogue. It's good even to be doing selective readings of different parts of the teaching. But if we do this, then it's just us. It's us in the teaching. It's, and it's everything through and through. The teaching's from me alone. So, do you know what I mean? If it's for each of us alone, then we kind of need to read the teachings through and through for ourselves, listen to the teachings through and through for ourselves. I figure. Anyway, kind of makes sense. Is why it's taken me this long to do that, I don't know, to read them all through and through. But anyway, that's what those good teachers are for, isn't it? So, and I'm a Bambu, go figure. So anyway, so I'm reading them. That's why I'm reading them all through and through. And one of the discoveries I made in there was the description of how there's like a description of how we as ordinary beings experience samsara. And I can't remember the 3 things, but it made so much sense, and that stayed with me. Really, and it still stayed with me. The meaning of it stayed with me, even though I can't, recall the exact phraseology right now of that. But as I was coming back to this recent reflection I was doing, that's now stayed with me, this natural, I was reflecting, but I was naturally reflecting, I think, through, Jinen, which is what it was about. So basically I was thinking, we're in this is the samsaric dream. This isn't real. This really isn't real. This really isn't, whatever way you want to look at it. You could look at it through, Buddhism. You can look at it through science. You can look at it through all kinds of ways. But in the end, the conclusion is very similar. That what we experience is not, what we think we're experiencing is not what is actually going on, what is actually the truth, what is actually reality. We're experiencing a facsimile through our own filtered, through our own deluded minds. Both individually and collectively. So, and that it's basically a polluted mind stream. That's what is actually happening, a polluted mind stream. And it was something like that. It was something like your energy, mind stream, and karma, I think were the 3 components of what goes into the way we experience, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I might have that wrong. But anyway, that line in the larger sutra. But anyway, and it made me reflect. I was reflecting also on the way that the larger sutra describes in excruciating detail samsaric existence for us, beings in it, and all that we go through, and all the why and what we do and how we do it, and how it just is, evil, basically the 5 evils. Anyway, so, and I was just reflecting on all that, and I just, for the first time, in a very real way, I realized that and in that dream, in that polluted mind stream, is the mind of Amitabha, is the mind of Amida Buddha, is the working of Amida Buddha, the Jinen of Amida Buddha, the working of the vow is there. It's his mind itself is here, is in that mind stream, in his light and his vow power and his other power and however his merit transference, all that stuff is, however you want to put it, is happening in this right now as we speak. And that just it was the first time I really, that had occurred to me before for a momentary kind of thing, or would stay with me a while, but then it would recede and I wouldn't think about it, or I'd forget about it or whatnot. But this has really stayed with me, this impression, and I almost see it all the time now. And that, I don't think that can be me. That's not me. That is the working of Jinin itself. I think happening there. And it just came very strongly, like as we speak, every second, and even that is a delusion, our perception of time, my perception of time, my this linear of progression from the past into the future, and this all the beauty and colors and everything and everything I'm smelling here and experiencing here is that polluted mind stream. And Amida is here, the mind of Amida, the mind of Tathagata is here, and thus also are all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas working here everywhere. Pointing people to and helping beings to get to Amitabha's Pure Land. But the main thing was that the mind of the Buddha is in this right now, and it's just that's never naturally just occurred to me like that, and stayed with me in the way that it has. And this is something different than, well, it's made an impression, but it's not just an impression, if you see what I mean. It's not just this doesn't seem like something that is just a momentary lapse of my own samsaric experience, if you see what I mean. It does, I do experience this as though there's the actual mind of the Buddha is here, kind of thing. That is happening as we speak. It's, it's hard to describe, but that's what, and I'm a bumbo, so I don't want to get off into speculation or calculations about it all. But it was a very strong, don't even want to call it just an occurrence. It was a natural, something that naturally arose within my mind. Something that naturally experienced or occurred to me, and has stayed with me. I'm not going to say I don't have any doubts, so, I'm not going to call this Shinjin. And I've called, I've called the Jinin basically the process of Shinjin in other videos. But that's because what I'm essentially saying is Jinin is the working of the vow. That's the process. That's the process of Amida's working to bring us to settled Shinjin. So, you know, I'm not going to say without any doubt, you know, I'm not going to say, but I'm going to say this is definitely a significant change, or a significant movement, or a significant underlying part of my path now. I guess we'll call it that way, or part, not my path. It's not my path. Part of Amida's path that I'm walking. that Amida is enabling me to walk. Something happening to me. This is something happening to me. I didn't bring this about. It's very much something happening to me. And of all the things in samsaric, you know, existence that, you know, quote unquote happens to me, which is through my own karma and our collective karma. So quote unquote happens to me. It's brought about by my own karmic causes and conditions. This kind of happening through the power of the Buddha mind, I'll take any day. It's not like some kind of, you know, I'm not feeling euphoric. I'm not feeling, you know, ecstatic. I'm not feeling anything like that. Any kind of euphoric emotion or ecstatic emotion or Zen-like emotion or a Zen-like experience. There's nothing, it's not any kind of special mind state or anything. It's just something very real. You know, something very real happening in a very unreal context. The unreal context being samsaric existence, provisional samsaric existence. Something very real happening in something very unreal. And that's what I'm talking about. The unreal part is samsaric existence. The real part is the Buddha mind, is the nirvanic mind, the nirvanic mind, you know, the sunyata mind, the dharmakaya mind of the Buddha here and now. And I'm not saying, and when I say that, I'm not saying Pure Land is here and now at all. I don't do that. I'm not doing that. But the mind of the Buddha certainly is here in this mind stream that we call samsaric existence. In a very real way. So I think that's all I have to say about it. I'm just going to say some Nembutsu now to take this video out, and I probably am going to publish this in the near future. Hopefully I'll have some time this weekend to do it, but yeah, that's it. So thank you for listening, and yeah, I'll do some Nembutsu. Feel free to join me wherever you are, in whichever realms of existence you are. Feel free to join me in saying the name. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namida 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 Namida Butsu, Namida Butsu, Namida Butsu, Namida Butsu, Namo Amitofo, 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 Namo Amitabha, 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 Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. See you next time.